Well, look, let's go to Catherine McGregor, because there are other things happening in the world, and in particular our deep concern for the continuing problems in Afghanistan. Our government remains silent on supporting the Afghan people. I'm advised, disturbingly, that young girls are being taken from their homes and passed around Taliban fighters as sex slaves. We make noises about the necessary protection of women and girls. Where are we now? And it matters. Let's go to the very learned Catherine McGregor. Catherine, thank you for your time. Is the government here too preoccupied with survival and prepared to abandon Afghan families who have supported us?
There's an element of that, I think, Alan, that the bandwidth of the government's entirely consumed by domestic matters at the moment. But the ground situation in Afghanistan is deteriorating rapidly. The reports today, open source reporting, with it President Ghani visited Mazar-Sharif with the warlord who played some role in ousting the Taliban back in 2001, Dostum. Some elements of their special forces are fighting quite well, but President Biden's remarks that they enjoy an enormous numerical superiority over the Taliban are just not true. A large
just absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
Yeah,
I mean, I read one report today, Catherine. Taliban have executed about 1,000 civilians in the past month. The province of Kandahar has been overrun. A former police chief there has said the Taliban had summarily killed hundreds of Afghans who were dragged from their homes, the Taliban going from house to house to find members and government employees. I mean, Biden hasn't got a clue, but who's advising him?
Well, he actually has some decent defence and security advisors around him, but we both know his infirmity, I think, means he's not actually at a very strong hand on the tiller. But look, Alan, I've been saying this for a while. I predicted this when the peace talks, so-called, started between the Taliban and the United States, that it would come to this.
Yes.
The Afghan military forces are not especially capable. Some elements of their commandos and special forces will fight. Some of the militias, ethnic militias, will fight especially.
They don't have the wherewithal. I mean,
support.
No, they don't. I mean, the planes need maintenance, and they can't, because of COVID, they can't get mechanics in. To just tell our viewers one story, this Nazar Mohammed, just another name, I suppose, but he's a very popular Afghan comedian. He was dragged from his home and killed by militants in Kandahar. He'd previously served the local police force, and there are photos of him backed up against a tree, then lying on the ground with his throat cut, and videos showing Taliban fighters firing machine gun rounds into the bodies of government supporters. Just before you go, Catherine, where is the world in all of this? Where are these human rights bodies?
Yeah, well, people essentially have turned their back on this situation now, and into the void, Alan. Just so your viewers know, China and Russia were doing joint military exercises
on the border
in the Muslim, expecting a complete disintegration of this state. And again, our own government is immune to these images and talking about compensating this feeble government for alleged war crimes. Not one of our people has been convicted of a war crime yet, and they're going to pay compensation to this failed state. And while massacres take place before our eyes, we've got numerous members of our special forces waiting for the AFP to call them. Something is amiss here.
Amiss. Catherine, thank you. We'll talk next week. I'll just end by saying what you know, but to tell my viewers, General Petraeus, who was a former US commander in Afghanistan, is saying America has abandoned its duty to protect democracy and human rights. Where is Australia in this? Where are all these human rights bodies? Catherine McGregor, we love her.